I read actually the Apostles' page 55 out at this moment, where Ellen White said, if this is the case and the Father is more willing to give good gifts to his children than we are to give gifts to our children, how much more should we speak of this promise, pray regarding it, preach concerning it? You may have, she says, of the Holy Spirit in proportion to your daily need and your ability to use that power. If you need a drop, you'll have your drop. If you're attempting little for God, you're full of doubt and fear. Well, nobody in my street's interested, I know that, you know. God will not disappoint you. You know, we letterboxed the whole community and nobody responded. There's no one out there interested. Then you may not even have a drop because you have no expectations. Your daily need. What kind of daily need do you have for the Holy Spirit? Daily need. Maybe you're working in an office with dozens of other people and you've come to the decision that there's nobody there who has any spiritual interest, really. I challenge you to be baptized by the Holy Spirit and see how quickly that'll turn around. You'll be absolutely amazed with what can happen in just a few days even. Some of you may have been here on the weekend and heard me tell about the World Bank in Washington, D.C. One young woman, Lebanese, who came to my class at Columbia Union College, a class on the baptism of the Holy Spirit, and stood up at the end of the class period and said, I'm not walking out of that door tonight until I've had hands laid on me and I've been anointed and baptized by the Holy Spirit. I said, my goodness, strong words. She said, I've worked in the World Bank for 10 years. I'm a professional. The World Bank, by the way, has 6,000 employees from every country in the world. They occupy 6 blocks of downtown Washington, D.C. She said, I've been there for 10 years and zero ministry. It's like a famine, she said. I want ministry in the World Bank. I said, you shall have ministry. We laid hands on that young woman. She was empowered by the Holy Spirit. 3 days later, my telephone rang. It was Samia. She said, you know, the strangest things are happening down here in the bank. I said, what's happening? She said, I've had 4 people walk up to me today and ask me spiritual questions. That hasn't happened once in 10 years. I said, Samia, it's just beginning. These are the first drops. You've been baptized. Imagine what's coming. A flood. We had no idea what a flood it was going to be. Anyway, 2 more days went by. This is 5 days from the night when she was anointed by the Spirit. She telephoned me again and she says, Bill, you've got to get down here and help me. I said, what's happening? She said, it's getting out of control. I said, what do you mean? She said, I've got maybe 30 people who are bugging me to start up a Bible study group here in the bank. She said, you know, I can't teach the word. I said, well, that's true. Her teaching kind of resembles a dog's breakfast. It's all over the place, you know. But I said, Samia, what have I taught you about spiritual gifts? You have the pastoral nurturing gift. You love people. You pray with people. You can be the minister on the inside of the bank, and I'll come in because I have the teaching gift. We will join forces in ministry. I said, ask the leadership of the bank for a room and put up a poster, non-denominational Bible study group, and we'll get started. We had no idea what a flood was about to be unleashed. This ministry, by the way, is continuing to this day. I heard recently 186 baptisms just from the World Bank alone. And that's how we got started. It was overwhelming. The precious people that just kept arising. And Samia became famous in Washington. The word went out because I was looking at every government department to do the same thing. And the word went out all over Washington, if you're in serious spiritual crisis, There's a young woman at the World Bank that you can telephone. Here's the number. And she became like a hotline sitting at her desk. She's sitting there one morning and the phone rings and it's a young man from the Department of Commerce. He's 31 years of age. He says, "Are you the person who ministers to people in crisis?" She said, "I guess I am." He said, "Well, I'm in the Department of Commerce. Can you help me?" She said, "Absolutely." "What's your crisis?" He said, "Well, I'm a Roman Catholic. I've been trying for a month to get a priest to visit me and I can't succeed. I've just lost one lung to lung cancer and now they've detected it in the other lung. I'm scared to death. I don't know what to do, where to turn, and somebody gave me your number." So she called me immediately, and 2 nights later we went together out to the home of this couple, beautiful young couple. We ministered to them, we loved them, we put our arms around them, we prayed with them. A week later we took 6 people from the World Bank with us and we anointed him with oil in the name of the Lord. I had the privilege of baptizing that couple in my home church, the Silver Spring Church.